In human years, she must be 100 years old. She lives in a small village in central Greece that I like to call my hometown, although I'm there twice or 3 times a year for just a few days. She is one of the millions of street cats of the country. Of all those millions, some have the streets as their home, some have a cardboard box in a corner somewhere, and some hang out around the house like her. They impose their presence in the way that only cats do, and whether you like it or not, they become residents of those few square meters you call garden or yard. Among all the other residents in my aunt's yard that she feeds and complains about sometimes at the same time, she stands out. Maybe because she's so old, maybe because my aunt, born and raised in rural Greece with everything that this implies when it comes to animals, has a soft spot for this one cat. She can't hide it, and she's not ashamed to admit it. She calls her the old cat, but I named her Lupita. I have no idea why. And my aunt loves telling me Lupita's story again and again, and I listen to it every time as if I've never heard it before.
Είναι πολύ γριά η κακομοίρα και γι' αυτό τη θέλω. Την πάτση πέρασε ο ουλιάς αυτού, όξω και αυτή από τη μέση και κάτι ήταν σβάρνα, δεν είναι πόρκη την πάτση. Και σβάρνα όπως ήταν με τα δυο τα ποδαράκια της τα μπροστά, πήγε πέρασε το δικό σου στο σπίτι. Κατέφυγε κάτω με το σπίτι και μάνα λέει θα ψοφήσει γάτα. Λέω παιδάκι μου κάτσε μια μέρα ζωντανή. Ύστερα παίρναμε και της πηγαίναμε φαγάκι εκεί και νεράκι και ύπνε. Σιγά και τάμε μια μέρα πέρασε κανένας μήνας βέβαια έτσι. Ξεκίνησε και ερχόταν δόθηκε. Ναι και την ζωντάνεψε.
So after she resurrected herself without any medical care and without anyone whispering her that it's all going to be okay, after endless days and nights of pain and suffering, Lupi and the hundreds of years she carries in her back went back to living and thriving in that yard she calls home. Every season I come back thinking that she won't be there anymore, and every season she surprises me. Last time I saw her, she had even gained weight. I bring her medicine and canned food because she almost doesn't have any teeth left, and I just sit around and watch her. They say that she's deaf, and she seems to be. I watched her once dozing off as my uncle was testing the chainsaw right next to her. But as deaf as she might be, she always responds to my psit sounds when I try to get her to open her eyes so I can take a look at her soul. She is obsessed with my aunt. She sits and stares at the street waiting for her to come back home. She waits outside one door or the other depending on which part of the house she thinks my aunt is. She gets to be fed separately and more often than the rest, and she spends all day sunbathing. She has 3-4 favorite spots, and as the sun moves, she also moves to the next sunny corner. She lays there for hours, dozing off, sitting with herself, her old, tired, stubborn self that refuses to let go, that refuses to die, that refuses to be touched by anyone but the sun. She has seen endless summers and winters go by. She has seen people die in the neighborhood. She knows the tractors and the cars that go by. She knows the dogs that sneak in to steal her food. She knows her life. She knows it better than anyone. She is wise. She has the wisdom that comes with old age, the wisdom of her years, of her sufferings. Sometimes she sits alone up on the top balcony and looks at the village, at the mountains around, as if they belong to her. And actually, maybe they do. Live in a place long enough and somehow you own it. It's yours. You've looked at it more often than anyone else. You've looked at it that much that it looks back at you. In you. And you become one. After you've become one with a place, whether you die tomorrow or years from now, it doesn't really matter. You will forever be part of what was there, of what is and of what will be.
Θα φας σε λίγο, σε λίγο.
Τι παίρνεις κουμπάκια?
Γάτα. Λουπί.